Hello, guys. That was a little glimpse of the guest I think you just got there. First timers on any sort of horror house show. Very, very excited to have them here talking Get Out on the newest episode of HorrorHouse Picture Show.
We're excited.
Ash, Joe, hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Like Joe said, we're excited to be here.
Very excited to finally have you on something on this particular channel, at least. Yeah. I'm I'm shocked at myself that we haven't done this, we haven't done something already.
Well, we have recommended multiple times you watch Hellraiser, so we could talk about that.
That's true. That is entirely my bad. I hang my head in shame.
No.
It's cool.
I am hanging my head right now.
You'll get to it eventually, and then we can do an episode about that.
Yeah.
The series, there's some diminishing returns on the series, so yeah.
Okay.
It suffers from the bad sequel situation.
Yeah.
How many sequels does Hellraiser actually have? Before, we're not completely off topic. How many sequels does Hellraiser actually have?
6 or 7?
I think there's 8 or 9 films total. 4 of them were released theatrically. There were several direct to DVD, VHS, whatever, home video sequels. And then there was one, we have to keep the rights to this, so we're going to do a cash grab to keep the rights movie that doesn't even star the original.
Anyone,
yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, we're not be talking about Hellraiser today, although we probably will at some point in the future. But today we're talking a horror film that's really taken the genre by storm a bit in the past month. Jordan Peele's Get Out, which I have finally now seen as of Friday when it was released in the UK. Guys, what do we think of this one?
Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. I went into it not watching any trailers. The only image I had seen of the movie was that one that's spread around the internet with like the tears falling from the protagonist's face and
Chris's face.
Yes, and just like, okay, like everyone's talking about this movie. I don't want to spoil, myself on anything. We're just going to go in blind. And we absolutely loved it.
It's not like there was a lot of advertisement to avoid, too. That's kind of one of the downsides I could see. I didn't see a lot of commercials or anything.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I did watch the trailer, but even having watched the trailer, it barely, watching the film, it's completely dirty. It barely tells you anything, which is exactly what you want from something like this. We are going to get into some sort of spoilers. We'll make it perfectly clear to everyone when we'll be talking spoilers, because it's one that you don't want spoiled for you, I don't think.
Definitely.
Yeah, if you want to avoid spoilers, you need to avoid spoilers for this one.
I mean, I am exactly on the same wavelength as you. I loved this, and I've had a couple of days to process it now. I really, really did. I think it's probably my favorite that I've seen so far this year, I'd say.
Oh yeah,
that's definitely my favorite so far too.
Yeah, being a horror guy, I mean, Logan, as awesome as that was, I think this one's the one that's going to stick with people, I think.
I think so as well. There's just so many themes that are relevant to today's world that it just really makes you think. We've seen it twice now, and you really get a lot out of it the second viewing as well. I mean, all of the twists and turns, but then you're looking for the little things that pop up, like, oh, they've really set this up very well, masterfully with the foreshadowing.
Yep.
A lot of good quality foreshadowing. And like you brought up, it's a really, really relevant film. It's not just standard, oh yeah, that was a decent horror film. This is something that had something to say, which elevates it even further.
Yep.
The whole race aspect of it. We understood from the trailers and from what we'd heard beforehand, but he's really taken quite far.
It also kind of points out like turns on its head normal horror movie tropes as well, because there's a lot of points in this movie where the protagonist like mutters something under his breath, which is the same kind of stuff we all say watching these kinds of movies, and it's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It was quite funny in a way, in that sort of way. There was definitely quite a bit of funny stuff in it, especially Chris's friend. What is his name?
Rod.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. He had
comedic delivery is great.
Yeah, everyone that was in the screening I was in on Friday was just cracking up every time he was on screen. Which I wasn't necessarily expected to go into this laughing.
Yeah.
With Jordan Peele's comedy background, I was expecting there to be some, comedic elements, but yeah, Rod's character was just, again, every line he delivers, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Hilarious, especially later on in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh dear.
I was kind of half expecting the kind of comedic horror that I got from some scenes in like Hostel, where like when he goes to like with the chainsaw after the dude and slips on blood and it falls on him. I laughed in that movie because of that scene, and I was expecting something along those lines.
Yeah, I can understand that, but no, like you say, it's very sort of delivery-based, script-based humor rather than ridiculous sort of violence. Which there is some awesome violence.
Very much.
That I did not. I could not have envisioned seeing that. I did not. This was a thing that I thought the trailers did really well. Nothing of the second half of the film.
Yeah.
In those trailers. Absolutely nothing. Which is perfect.
Yeah, that's what you want.
It's exactly what you want. And I mean, mild spoilers ahead, listeners.
Yeah.
The second half of the film does take a turn that I was not expecting it to take. It makes the film it makes it more interesting. It made it more of an interesting story overall, rather than just expecting, oh yeah, this is a horror about racism. It's supposed to be pretty decent. No, this has got a really good story to it as well. And then on top of that, the whole breaking out scene.
The escape.
The stag's head.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which was incredible. And I was noticing that stag's head in the background in that room. And I was just thinking, Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
If they don't use this stag's head appropriately, it's going to be, the stag's head gets ripped off, and a person.
Yeah.
Which I literally cheered.
Yes.
Yeah. Every scene, every time he stopped one of them from doing something, it was just fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, this film is about a interracial couple at the start, anyway. About this interracial couple going to her parents, she's white, her parents' house. I don't even know where it is. Is it presumably some sort of Midwest?
I imagine it's somewhere upstate New York.
I know the movie was filmed in Alabama, but yeah, whatever, some kind of, they're going from the big city to the countryside and
like a lakeside.
Yeah, I mean,
secluded, no neighbors for miles. So the perfect setting for any kind of horror movie.
Exactly what setting you want. But yeah, they go there, and as always, the parents are very nice and accommodating. Everybody seems quite nice, but then little things just feel off, and they don't just feel off for Chris. They feel off for as a viewer as well.
Right.
You've got it in your mind. You're thinking, wait a minute, that's right there.
Yeah.
And then plays on and builds up and builds up.
Mm-hmm.
Just some of the things that they say to him, especially like when he's talking to the dad alone, like after he's like giving the house tour, and just like the little comments like, oh, I would have voted for Obama for a third term, which had nothing to do with what they were talking about, but like, I'm going to appeal to you and let you know that I'm a cool white person. Like, you can trust me kind of attitude.
It was the sort of cinematic equivalent of going around saying, I have loads of black friends.
Yeah. I also like
basically that.
Is when they're having the dinner party and the discussion with the brother when they're talking about martial arts and all sorts of other stuff, and he talks about with your build and this and that and this, it got really uncomfortable. Like everything about the character was really uncomfortable.
Yeah, there was something off about the brother from the very beginning.
Something off the wall.
Yes, the one. And even further than that, he was in X-Men First Class, wasn't he?
The brother?
Brother.
As who?
Did he play Banshee in X-Men First Class?
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
My mind went to Havoc, and I'm like, no, he wasn't Havoc. That dude from Monster Trucks is Havoc.
Wasn't Havoc. Havoc's far too pretty.
Yeah. It's possible.
Anyway, yeah.
Nolan in the chat is saying it was Banshee.
As well. He was Banshee. Trivia. I've trivia'd people again. There
Nice.
you go. Hello to Nolan and Billy in the chat as well. Love you. But yeah, he's a creepy guy as it is with the stuff he says. But then even after this dinner party, and already you're thinking, wait a minute, yeah, there's maybe, it's still going to be, fine. And then the whole big family friends get together happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even before that, you have when he goes out that night for the cigarette.
Oh God, yeah. Oh no. I think that the guy's name is who sprints towards him.
The groundskeeper. I can't remember his name offhand.
Yeah.
I think that was it. I think that scene was in the trailer, or at least the sprinting towards and then darting off to the right. I mean, it was all very, very unsettling, and then of course you get the hypnosis.
Yeah.
Which took this film to a place I did not think it was going to go to.
It's really funny too because the woman who plays the mother,
Catherine Keener.
Yeah, she the last thing I remember seeing her in was 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Quite a turn.
A bit of shell shock there.
Yeah.
Like the questions that she's asking him to put him in this vulnerable place, like, tell me about the night your mother died, and just stirring her tea.
I just met you. Why am I answering these questions?
It's things you don't necessarily want to tell your girlfriend's mother on the first night you've met her.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then she's there with the little stirring the tea.
Yep.
And I mean, whether people are afraid of cups of tea now is a thing we've got to be careful for. I think anyone seen with a cup of tea,
or especially if they're a psychiatrist that has some experimental therapies,
or that particular blue-white china.
Yeah. But yeah, let's just say comfortably now. Spoilers ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about the rest of it without some.
It is. It's not easy to talk about without sort of going into some sort of detail. But yes, the mother hypnotizes Chris. He ends up in this just black space of nothingness.
And the only visual, he's like far away, and it's like he's seeing everything through a TV, but like he tries to yell, but like he can't be heard, and
then
he's
it
sunken place.
Yeah, the sunken place it's called. It cuts back to the mother just looking at him, and that's the shot that we've all seen from promos of him with the tears. Just like,
yep.
And then that's that. So that was an interesting first night to spend at a parent's.
Yeah. Well, then when he wakes up, and it's like, did that really happen? Because he's not sure.
Yeah. I can understand why, like, someone be like, he didn't just dream all that, did he? I sort of went the other way. I sort of like, yeah, I think that actually happened.
Yeah.
To use the whole, oh, it was a dream is just, I don't care for it.
Yeah, but it definitely sets you up to believe that at first, where it's like, okay, well, maybe he's just having a weird nightmare, but then soon you, of course, learn that no, that all really happened.
And it's not just that, but like I can imagine like some people thinking maybe it was a dream or something. That was the first any sort of vision we had of some sort of strange other things going on with the sunken place. Nothing else in that movie had been similar to that. This whole movie. So definitely.
But then is it after that the whole
garden party,
should we call it? Yeah.
I love how everybody like seemed to get the memo that you were supposed to wear some kind of shade of black or red or gray, but Chris, like, he's the only one, and then one of the other guests that they meet. Yeah, everybody else seems to, there's a dress code for this, but she, oh, I didn't know it was the party today, but we have it the same day every year.
Yeah.
Just Rose's whole character.
Oh, yeah, I thought Rose was a really good character. I mean, I was, when the reveal happens with Rose, I was like, okay.
Yes, that was so sad. But when you see it on a second viewing, you really start to pay attention to, or at least I paid attention to her a lot more to see if there was any little subtle nods to her not really being a genuine person. And one place I noticed it was when he's at the party and he's like feeling uncomfortable and like, we need to go, like, I don't feel like this is working, and she feels like he's going to leave without her. There's like a subtle twitch in her face where it's like, oh, there it is, that this is all fake.
See, that's why second viewing helped.
Yep.
Yeah, but I was, fully in the mindset that Rose was just, it was the parents that were the
and
quote-unquote evil people.
And somehow she didn't know.
I know.
Yeah, somehow she didn't know.
And I know on my first viewing, or on our first viewing, when he found the pictures that kind of proved she was lying to him about some stuff, I was like, well, maybe she's also hypnotized and she doesn't really know what's going on and that kind of stuff.
That's not a bad point.
And then like 4 minutes later, I was.
Yeah.
Well, he's probably having to go through some denial in that moment, because he seems to genuinely love her. They've been together for, what she says, 5 months, and she's his only way out of that house. He doesn't seem to. He only has an ID. He doesn't have a driver's license. Yeah. So yeah, there's like, he needs to ticket out.
He needs to get out. Hey, well done. I like it.
That whole scene at the party when he takes the picture of Logan, that was just brilliant filmmaking.
Logan / Andre.
Yeah, Andre.
Who is a remarkably unsettling man.
Yeah.
Nothing about him is human.
No.
Which is the point. I know, which is the point. But without knowing actually what's going on, meeting Logan, is very, very strange.
Well, and the housekeeper and the groundskeeper as well, like there's unsettling the way that they interact with each other, especially when she confronts him about like, I'm so sorry, I did not mean to unplug your phone, I just left it there.
Your cellular telephone.
Yes, and just the when he's like, don't worry, I wasn't gonna snitch on you. Snitch? Oh, tattletale.
Yeah.
Going back to that old timey phrasing of those words. Those little subtle nods that you don't like. Okay, well, she's just really weird. What's wrong with her?
It's stuff like that. It's stuff like that that really makes this film as a whole just great, because it's stuff that you don't see in most other things. This, like you've just mentioned, the whole thing with the housekeeper and the whole not knowing words for things and like that. I mean, I get it from the sort of way they speak. It was strange, but I didn't really think about necessarily what they were saying, which might sound weird, but it makes complete sense. And all credit, well, a lot of credit obviously goes to Jordan Peele. Just managing to pull this off so well.
Totally.
Yeah, definitely agree. I can't wait to see more stuff from him, because I know he plans to do some more horror films in this kind of genre, like pointing out societal issues.
That's the best kind of horror, though.
Yeah.
Think about it. All the best horror has got a bit of social relevance to it.
Totally.
Definitely.
I mean, you'd struggle to come across a recent horror that feels as relevant as Get Out does.
So it's funny in the chat. Nolan compared it to Cabin in the Woods because it's a movie that people will be talking about for a long time. Like one of those horror movies that's like an instant classic that resonates really quickly. And it's really funny because Bradley Whitford is in both of these films. Because he's one of the tech room operators in Cabin in the Woods. And he's the dad in this.
So he is. You've trivia'd me, Joe. We've trivia'd each other.
I really like Bradley Whitford, actor, so.
No, yeah, I do definitely think this is going to be talked about for years.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of, like I said, I can't think of a horror in recent years that's been more relevant and maybe even more well made in terms of all around sort of just storytelling,
sound design, cinematography,
even performances. Very subtle, nice, just 5-star performances. All of them, because even the actors who have to deliver these lines in a hypnotized / non-human-like way.
Yeah.
They, that it doesn't come off as, corny or.
No, it's very.
Be a robot now.
Very genuine, like they're not comfortable in their own skin.
Or like in the case of the groundskeeper and the maid, again, whose names I wish I can remember, but I don't.
I think it's Walter and Gloria. Or
that
Georgia.
sounds right.
Georgia, it might be. Or Georgina.
Georgina.
Georgina. Let's go Georgina.
But with them, it's more than just not being comfortable in their skin. They also know they're putting on an act. Like completely putting on an act.
I love it when she says, don't worry, I answer to no one.
Yeah.
And just like the way that Like there's like even like other like little creepy nods where she's just like in the kitchen like for like a split second, just holding the cake, waiting there, like literally she's a robot.
Yeah, it's a very.
And you have to imagine she's probably used to running the show, and then once their guests arrive, they have to go into this act mode, and it's probably very annoying and frustrating for her.
It is. It's a very atmospheric. It builds.
Hello, Ori.
It froze.
We have a freeze. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. I think we lost Morgan.
Now we have the whole show. Or do we? We don't know. Yeah, Nolan just commented, "Get out, Morgan, get out." No, okay. Hold on. Is Morgan back?
Looks like we're back.
Nolan wanted to know. I gotta know. Will you guys buy the Get Out Funko Pops if those get made?
Yes.
I would so buy some Funko Pops for this movie.
Totally.
Are we back on?
We're back.
I think so. Woo.
It looks like it.
We yes, had a bit of a. I think I was hypnotized slightly there.
Uh-oh.
Fell into the sunken place.
Don't fall into the sunken place.
To the sunken place. Oh no, I'm going. No.
Fall into the floor. Or no, sink into the floor. And when the audio changes, sink. But yeah, the characters are Walter and Georgina. Just confirm that for us.
Nice.
And just like the garden party, like, let's all go play bingo. And then he's like, I can't handle this anymore. And she had to have probably thought of some way to get him out of there so that they could carry on with their shenanigans.
After that whole situation, she just said, we're going to go for a walk.
Yeah, so.
That bingo scene, even why was bingo unsettling?
Well, I mean, they were using bingo as a euphemism is not even the right word, but as like a symbol for basically an auction.
Oh no.
I think we're just coming in and out.
It's possible.
Stupid reason. Live streaming, everyone.
Well, I mean, bingo is such like an old-timey game, and if you think about like the patriarchs of that family are, from an older era, so maybe it's just and if you're talking about that idea in polite society, nobody's going to pick up on it. Like, oh, bingo, like that's an innocent game, so maybe.
Yeah. Then, like, even if they were trying to joke about like having some sort of like family auction type situation where they just auctioned off heirlooms or something like that to other members of the family, you're immediately going to be interested because you want to know what's being auctioned. But bingo is innocuous. It's just kind of.
It sounds innocuous, doesn't it? We all know what they were really doing.
And then it seems like, and it was a silent auction too, which is like, with hand gestures, everybody knew what was going on. And then when Jim, who's the blind photographer or like art dealer, wannabe photographer, and just like all the things that he had to say, like he felt he was better than everybody there because his reasons for wanting Chris were like not based off of like some kind of vanity of like, oh, sports or like you'll be like a good mate for somebody or whatever. You have strength. It's like, no, I want your eye. I'm better than everybody else. It's like, no, you're probably just as bad as everybody else, if not worse.
Yep.
The There's two redeemable people in this film, and one's Chris, and this is Rod.
Yeah.
Hey, Sid was pretty cool too. The dog.
The dog.
Oh, of course, the dog.
It's really interesting. After we watched the first viewing of this, there was a article I read about like little things you might not have noticed or not thought about. In the beginning of the film, when they're on their way to her parents' house, the cop pulls them over, or they deal with the police after the deer situation.
Yes.
And she starts flipping out about the police officer asking for his driver's license or his identification, all sorts of other stuff. Like that on the surface felt like, oh man, she's like not putting up with this shenanigans about, like just because my boyfriend's black or whatever.
Like, look at her. She's a good person that she stood up for him.
But someone wrote an article talking about like, no, she was covering her trail.
Yeah.
Because if there's a
police, because they have to write up everything, so
that's kind of genius.
Yeah.
Well, that and it endears her to him, where he's is going to be more likely to accept. Okay, well, she can't be a bad person because she took up for me, when it counted. So it kind of helps sell some of the stuff later where he's like trying to probably rationalize, okay, her parents are creepy. This is creepy, but Rose is good. Yeah. And then when she makes that turn on the stairs where it's like, I can't let you have these keys.
Yeah,
that has hurt so bad. It's like, oh, like the one person you thought he could trust, and like now how is he going to literally get out of this situation because he doesn't have anyone on his side. His phone is, I think it had been established that it had died at that point.
Yeah, it was dead again.
And like, who was going to come and rescue him? So he has to save himself.
Yeah, and like I said before, he saves himself in such a wonderfully violent way.
Yeah.
And it's just it made me smile as the more violent the stabbings.
Which is very satisfying because like these people are horrible. Like on the surface they look like they're nice people, but they're doing these horrible things, for their own vanity.
Yep.
Like, there's no reason that this should be going on. And like, oh, look at this perfect family. And, he's rightfully angry.
That's what a lot of good horror like people that on the surface look fine, but then, it's always what's under.
Yeah.
And the character is because again, Rose really stood out to me the second time because like before she has her turning moment, she looks so like angelic and beautiful, like her she even kind of matches like the same style that Chris has. Like they're both in like these blue hues of their clothing. They look like they really go together. And then after she does her turn, when she does her ponytail, her features are a lot more sharp and angular, and she looks a lot more villainous than the soft angles that she had when we could perceive her as a good person,
as an ally. And
when she does that enemy turn, stark, like her stark contrast in her clothes and her hair and
facial gestures.
Absolutely.
And when she's drinking that milk and then her cereal is separate, that's another one of those little things where it's like her little Fruit Loops, but the milk, trying to keep things separated.
Yep.
All very nice.
When looking up top NCAA prospects.
Yes, I did.
She's already on the next prey.
Just the fact that we saw top NCAA prospects. I think that was just a bit.
But it's interesting. It's like the family raised both the kids to be hunters, and they just hunt in different ways. Because that's something that her entire aesthetic is towards that last chunk of the movie is she looks like she's like a old English hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's wearing that type of white shirt and the pants and even the way she holds a rifle at some point when she has the gun. And then her bedroom is a trophy room because she has all those pictures hanging on the walls like they're freaking trophies. So
Well, the art of the people, that's why. Armitage, they are essentially, displays of what they've done.
Yeah, and then the brother, like with the whole like it's hard to tell like in the beginning if they had like researched Andre beforehand, but he just kind of like sees an opportunity and literally takes it. And like the song playing in the background, like "Run Rabbit Run," like that. I thought that was like the most genius use of a song in a movie this year.
Yeah,
I really like that song choice. So anyway, to wrap this episode of Picture Show up, overall thoughts, guys, and anything you want to talk
about? Movie was awesome.
Yeah,
go see it.
Definitely one of my favorites so far this year, and I think it will stick around because again, the social commentary is just perfect for what's going on in the world right now, and also it's a good movie too.
Yeah.
Again, with the cinematography, the acting, music choices, even though there was very few songs. The other one in the beginning where it's like "Stay Woke."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he should be aware because like bad things are happening, and just the brilliant casting of all of the actors. Again, like Rod is my favorite character in the movie because the comic relief like he brought was like just so brilliant. Everyone was brilliantly written.
Yep.
Yeah. The good thing is I am entirely in agreement, which just makes everything easy.
Yeah.
Billy, his thoughts are I should smile more. That's not going to get me to do it.
His thoughts are what? Oh, Morgan should smile more.
Okay.
Totally. As far as plugging stuff.
Yes, go for the plugs.
Yeah, you can find both of us on Twitter. I'm at @Mrs. Davis, which is also in the description of this show.
And I'm at Drake Masters, also in the description of the show.
You can find our work over at the Tough Channel, where we are the frequent fact checkers for a little show that Morgan's been on called Fan Friction. And I believe, are you going to be on an episode this season?
I am going to be this season. I'm not sure exactly. I've been told April.
Okay. So hopefully we'll be fact checking for that one. We didn't fact check the other one he was on.
Battles for
yeah,
Blood.
we were in the audience for that. We also do a show which we call BFF because Fan Friction, where we pick a movie that neither of us have seen before. That we watched because again we're doing the fact checking and we do like a little review of it. Plus we also review the fight and rank how it fit the question and such. And a new episode of BFF will be dropping later on this evening. If you're in the Central Time Zone, hopefully it'll be up by 6 o'clock, maybe 7. Still got to do some last minute editing. It will be over Leon the Professional.
Excellent.
So look forward to that. Our latest episode that's on the channel now is of Armageddon.
Well, I'll be checking. BFF on Leon. I love Leon. I don't watch Leon. Yes, guys. As the new Horror House main show went up today, Scooby-Doo Part 2, closing out me and Nolan's epic journey through the history of Scooby-Doo. A lot of fun. So go and check that out either on this channel or on iTunes because we're now on iTunes. Yay! So just search Horror House on iTunes and you'll find that. Subscribe, rate, and review over there. The rates and reviews are really sort of important if we want to keep building that over there, which I do. So go ahead and do that. And sub to this channel, of course. Share this video around if you did like it, and comment some of your thoughts on Get Out as well, because We all want to know what's going on. Follow the podcast on Twitter. Follow this show and the podcast Twitter at HorrorHouse Pod. Follow me at the Purple Don, Ash at that _Mrs. Davis, Joe at Drake Masters, and the Tough Channel at Tough Channel. Yeah, that about does it. Thanks as always for watching, guys. Until next time. Goodbye.
Bye.